The reason you crossed paths is about to become clear. Welcome, Sagis, to Inside This Love, Chapter 2. So, this reading is timeless, keep that in mind. It can guide you through any kind of relationship, from a love long past to someone you have shared decades with or someone completely new. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. So, without further ado, let's begin. But actually, before starting, and as I shuffle the cards, please take a moment to read the pinned comment, because that will guide you in connecting to the energy we are exploring today, okay? And please excuse my voice, but the weather here hasn't been very clement. So now we are going to see the blueprint of why the two of you met, okay? Just let's have a look now, Sagis, and see what's coming up for you. And here we've got attachment. Did this person came into your life to show you that maybe you had some attachment problems? And remember that attachment problems doesn't always mean that you are too much attached to people. You get too attached to people. Sorry, I'm just trying to move so that there won't be so much glare. Or maybe because other people, you sense that other people, when you are in a relationship, have the tendency of getting really attached to you, and that is something that maybe you don't like too much. It has to do with this, I don't like using the word lesson, but understanding how yourself and other people kind of work around this particular thing. The fact of not knowing exactly how to maybe districate yourself if somebody feels too much for you, a kind of suffocating energy, or if it's you instead that lately had this kind of behavior. That is something that, you know, it's not typical of the Sagittarius archetype. But let's have a look. And also, you see, that's a number 5. So if we are looking at the numerology part of it, it's a number of conflict, of inner conflict. So I sense that this blueprint that we are shown here, it's more something that needs to be worked at an internal level. Okay? But now we are starting with the main reading. And the first question is, what was the deeper reason your paths crossed? Now, before we saw the blueprint, but now we see from your perspective, okay? And your person perspective. Why did the two of you cross paths? 7 of Swords, the running away, the picking up and letting go. So is it actually showing you that maybe, Sagittarius, it's time for you not to run away anymore, or not to just sweep under the rug or leave go people just in the spur of the moment, but maybe stay a bit longer, maybe, you know, explore a bit deeper the relationship? You know, this card, the 7 of Swords, is the typical card of somebody that picks up and go. You know, no explanation, not much thought either. Or if there is a thought, unless they have done something that they are afraid of being discovered, it's just that kind of feeling of saying, you know, I don't want to do this anymore. It's becoming too attached. You know, this person, I feel too attached to this person, so I don't want to have this feeling, I'm going. Or this person feels as if it's relying too much on me, and I don't want that. Okay? I think I gave you the idea. What part of you was this connection meant to awaken? And here we've got the 5 of Pentacles, being alone, feeling lonely. So was all this running away before, all of this having to examine the attachment style that you have because you're afraid of then getting too attached to a person and being left out in the cold and feeling lonely? if things don't work out. You know, sometimes we act in a certain way because we think that if we do that action, that I'm just giving an example, if we break up first from the person that we love, so it will hurt less because I know within myself, in brackets, that it's going to end anyway. So this is the same dynamic. What lesson arrived with this meeting? The High Priestess. The lesson of really going deep within and understand what you already know. That you already know that you have got this kind of, more than likely, this kind of problem, I would say. Please, you know, problem is not exactly the correct word, but, you know, English is not my first language, so have compassion there. And so dealing with attachment for you, it's a problem. Whatever it's you getting too attached or whatever is the other person. Now, this could also be very much that all of this, it's the other person showing this kind of dynamic. So feeling too attached and everything, and you kind of having that instinct of I'm letting go because I can't deal with this. But with the High Priestess, the lesson that arrived through this meeting is go within, listen. Why are you so afraid of getting attached or of other people getting attached to you? What unresolved pattern did the two of you activate together? And here we've got the 9 of Wands. The fact of you know, that fear of having to work too hard for a relationship that is going to become heavy, because after the 9 of Wands there is the 10. So it's that burden that keeps being carried through. You activate together that sense of, okay, now again we are at the same point where I always was with other relationship. I am really grinding through this, but I know that then it's going to become a burden. What growth was initiated by this encounter? And here we've got the Page of Wands. I think that the growth is still young because a page, but just to take things maybe a bit more as they come, a day at a time. Because the Page of Wands does take things a day at a time. So instead of immediately taking the way out here with the run, see how it goes today. So today it went well. I didn't have that feeling because things were okay. Now, well, if tomorrow it's not the same thing, I'll think about it tomorrow. What timing factor mattered in your meeting? 6 of Cups. So is this an ex that you're with, that you came here to read this, for this reading? Because this is a 6 of Cups, so the returning of an ex, or the wish for a returning of an ex, or an ex that is already returned? Or is this a person that you know since the two of you were children? Or do they have the same upbringing as you? There is a communality there. And now the last question. What purpose does this love serve in your life story? The Magician. Beautiful. To transmute and change what you have always felt about the attachment. About attachments. To really understand that, you know, we can of course let go of relationship and this and that, but at the same time, every relationship is different. And if this is not you, this is for the person that you came to the reading for. And so this person will, this what is going to change in their life. That they will understand that there is no need of that running, that instinct, when things feel a tiny chinch bit heavy. Okay? So now I feel that this chapter ends here, but remember that love's journey continues. What needed to surface, I feel it did. It was quite a bit of a deep, and I try to understand, to explain, excuse me, as much as possible what I was sensing. But please return anytime your heart seeks clarity. And also, if this chapter spoke to you, there are other series on this channel you might enjoy. Each one explores love in its own way. And please remember that instead, if you would like a private reading with me, the link it's in the description box. Also, like, share and subscribe if you would like, of course, and stay curious. There is always more to discover. Bye bye.